do understand sometimes people, they don't have the right tools and the right language to deal with things that they do not understand because there's not enough representation perhaps. So I do feel this is a good step going forward into more representation so that, some things that happened in Portugal don't happen anymore, hopefully in the next few generations.
Um, I want to know as a very young age, where do you get your confidence from? And what makes you feel the most confident?
Right. Well, for many years I was not confident, and I had to go through that path of finding myself and seeing the beauty in me as a woman. It was not easy, but I did take all the good people and all the women in my life that have always supported me, and I do believe my confidence came from them, from the diverse women around me since I was little, that always supported me, always helped me to understand that I was enough and that I was worthy of existing.
How is your family with your decision to transition?
Right.
How are they with you?
Right. Well, for me, when I was very young, my parents did know that I was a different child. And then moving into my early teens, they did see straight away that I was a girl. And this was something that they did not have the information to deal with. They did not know how to take, because they didn't even know something like this could exist. Portugal is a very small country, and it's also a very religious country. So sometimes people don't get really the visibility to these type of situations that can happen in life. When it comes to gender dysphoria, later on they understand that it is a medical condition that we are born with, and that it is treated with the help of doctors and a multidisciplinary team that's going to be by our side and helping us and guiding us into living authentically. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I mean, I remember in my transition, I know when I was 6 years old. I don't know about you, but since I was like 6, I knew I was like, I didn't know about being trans, but I know a woman, and
Right.
I feel like that is more of who I am.
Absolutely.
And as you said, you see all your female family members, your aunt and your mom, and you're like, I can relate more to what they are and what they do in life, and I get inspiration from that.
Absolutely.
So tell us, what is your most proudest moment in your life?
Proudest moment in my life, I think, was being part of a bill that was passed in 2016 in Portugal. We created a project where we were representing people of all types of identities, an association called API, which is Action for Identity, which I'm translating to Portuguese, from Portuguese to English. And it's something that I'm so proud of, that for many years we fought for a new gender law that was more inclusive, more wide, to really make people feel like their own identity is valued and it is protected by the state. And we went to the parliament as well, and this was something so positive that now I look back and I thought I was fighting for my own rights, but now looking back at the people that are supporting me, I was also fighting for them, and now it's their turn to give it back to me with their support. So it's like a full circle moment.
How easy is it now to get your papers changed in your country? Because I know in the Philippines, where I originally came from, we still don't have that type of right. A lot of transgender women, they're still walking around with their boy names, and it's hard to travel the country. They have to do red tape. So how is it in Portugal?
Well, in Portugal, before this law, it was at 18, and it had to be with authorizations from multiple doctors and multiple teams of doctors. Now it's at 16, and you do not have to have any authorization from a doctor. So at 16, after you have some medical and psychological
evaluations,
exactly. You do get to get the paper, and you do get to go to the registry and change your birth certificate.
Now, I know you are in a competition with a lot of beautiful women.
Right.
I want to know how you feel about competition in general. Because sometimes we even compete with our friends, and
Right. I feel like in our community we are used to it because we are sometimes pitted against each other growing up. And we're not so many, you know. As trans women, our experience is something that it could be very rare and could be very special, even though sometimes it's not seen this way. But we know each other, and we know that our experience has a lot of crossed paths, and that we have a lot of experiences that we share. And sometimes it could be hard to have this pressure from society and then have to still be cordial and have to still be, you know, we have all these pressures as people, not only as trans people, but as women as well. And sometimes could be a little overwhelming. But I do feel like here we all have a story to tell, and all the girls have welcomed me so well and with open arms. And the relationships I made here, some of them definitely are for life. And it's been such a beautiful thing also to see the organization as a family itself, and that we are part of this family. Everything seems so familiar and so close by. It's a beautiful experience. That's how I feel, at least here.
Now I want to know, what is your greatest fear?
Oh, to never be able to become a mother.
That's understandable.
Right.
But you can adopt. There's a lot of children that needs loving, you know,
Absolutely.
a loving home and
an
family.
experience that I really want to go through in life. And a year ago, I was engaged in a relationship.
Oh, okay.
But my participation in Miss Portugal kind of created, destabilized the relationship, and it was also good for me to understand that I needed to be with someone
that supports you 100%.
100%, exactly, not like 90 or 80. So it was good as well for us to follow different paths, and for me to understand that maybe something better is coming my way later on in life.
Yeah, and also it's you're still so young, and you have your future ahead of you. You have the universe ahead of you. So sometimes you have to take this journey alone in life, you know, because there are people that might be a baggage for you, and it will just hinder your success.
Absolutely.
Tell me, what else is next for you after Miss Universe?
After this, well,
what else can we look forward?
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
Marina.
No matter what happens on that final night, I will carry my title as Miss Universe Portugal, and there's still a lot of work to be done.
I mean, you made history. You're gonna be, you know, in history books of Portugal for the next, I don't know, 100 years. They're gonna see Marina Machete, the very first, the pioneer, you know, queen for us. And I'm really grateful to have met you.
Oh, me too.
You are a breath of fresh air. And I said, you are like a very good surprise. Because, you know, we had Netherlands came out first, right? Her story broke in the news. And we are so happy about that. And then they announced you. And I was like, oh my God, it's going to be an amazing year for Miss Universe. And last year was my first time hosting. And you know, coming in this year, it gave me even a bigger purpose to interview, you know, the girls. And I really wanted to focus on the two of you. Because, you know, there's only very few of us, and I understand like the hardships that we go through. And it's just beautiful.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I'm so glad that we had this interview in this moment together.
It's so beautiful.
I do feel like you get me as a person as well.
I do, yeah. Oh my God, thank you.
Thank you, really.
Give me a hug. Oh my God.